Hello human beings, I am crazylegsjan and welcome back to VR in a wheelchair. Is wandering in space worth it? Let's find out. When you start the game, you are introduced to an adjustment of sitting or standing position. You are also introduced to snap turn or smooth turn. Then in the game settings you can adjust all the settings that you would think about. Like what directional control you want, like head tracking or hand tracking. Also the rotation angle and rotation speed. You can also adjust the language to whatever you desire, or the graphics quality that is on the screen for you. You can also adjust the volume control like in any other game. You also have display calibration, which I think is for the display on your computer, not for the VR headset. But I could be wrong. Wandering in space is in early access, so a lot of things can be changed down the road. Just a reminder. You can also adjust your controller type. By default, mine was on Pimax instead of the Oculus controller, so I had to change it to get the right controller scheme. The game will get a multiplayer version, but it's not out yet. It's still in development, and they showed a little clip from it the other day on Twitter. When you start a new game, you are introduced to a tutorial that lets you through everything that you need to know to play the game, like checking your vitals, pick up your gun, store different items, store ammunition, and how to aim. And shoot, of course. The tutorial part where you have to shoot is a little misdirected because it wants you to empty the clip in your gun, not just shoot a couple of times. But other than that, the tutorial is fine and fairly easy to walk through. To quick store your magazines, you have to tap your left shoulder, and to get out a magazine, you have to take it from your left shoulder. You can also use both hands in this game to stabilize your guns. Both the pistol and the bigger weapons have a stability option for both hands. You have different kinds of syringes in this game. One is for health, the other one is for oxygen, and the third one is for energy, as far as I know. I haven't tried the yellow one, but I'm guessing that it's for energy. You have a backpack that you can store 18 items in of different sorts, except for ammo. Here it shows you that if you want to quick store items, then you have to tap your right shoulder with an item that you have in your hand, instead of taking the backpack. And that was the tutorial. As said, super easy to understand. After the tutorial, you have a tiny tutorial again, if you are in doubt of anything that you learned in the tutorial, so you can quickly look it over again, if needed.
Now please read the notes on the screen carefully.
Just as the robot said, read carefully. I'm actually not sure why they have a tutorial in the start and then also this part here. It kinda means two tutorials that teaches you the same thing. I couldn't figure out how to jump. The screen tells you that you need to use your right hand buttons, but for me it didn't do anything, so I don't know if I did it wrong, but I couldn't get it to jump at least. The game will have a left hand mode down the road, and I honestly can't wait for that to happen because I am a lefty. And I shoot and aim a lot better with my left hand than I do with my right hand. I would have loved if the conversation bubble, the subtitles, was higher up. I didn't see them at all, to be honest, and I can see more than you guys can see here in the video. As in, I can see higher and lower than you can. So you go hibernate, and all of a sudden all hell breaks loose, as there is a bunch of infected enemies on the space station that you're on, and your job is to eliminate all of them and go do the final objective, which is to find a little pod baby, to be honest. Which kind of reminded me of the baby from Death Stranding that you, as Sam Porter, is running around with. Doing different parts of this mission, there are some files, as you just saw here, that has a voice recorded on it. You put it in one of your hands and then it records a audio track that is pre-recorded on the vial. That also functions as kind of a law on what is actually happening on the space station, why the infected got there, and what happened before when you were in the hibernation. Throughout the map, I constantly got trolled by my own footstep sounds, as I didn't hear them correctly constantly like you are in this recording. I only heard them when I was sidestepping. So I constantly got trolled and thought that there was something to each of my sides when I was strafing. Wandering in space is a classic level shooter, where you clear out the levels by shooting all of the enemies. But it also has the classic part of where you need to hold down a part of the map for X amount of time, because the NPCs needs to do something that is on a time limit basis. This was also the part where I met some of the other mechs that are in the map. I don't know how to kill them, and I asked in the Discord on how you actually are supposed to kill them. But they didn't want to tell me, because that's something you get to know on level 6. Or floor 6. As there are 6 different floors in this game to complete. Each harder than the other. This map here is not an actual floor, this is more an introduction to the game, I would say. The game is a super pretty game and it's very well made when you're thinking about that it's actually in an early access state. So stuff can change down the road. But just looking at the models like this flying drone or out in space here is super pretty and very well made. You also get a sense of how big this space station actually is that you are on. And how many infected there actually is, or could be. If you die in this game, you will just be respawned to each of the before met hibernation stations, like you will see right here. I didn't know why they were in the map. I thought it was just like a visual thing, but it actually had a function. I don't know if you can respawn infinitely, but I died 2 times and without any problems. When you're done with this map here, you will be introduced to the floor system. And with that you are also introduced to the different things in the maps, like plastic and metals and other minerals. Those you can use to upgrade your weapons or craft weapons with. Because you only have the pistol as you have in this map, but you also have a melee weapon, which is kinda a form of a lightsaber from Star Wars, on your wrist, on your left wrist. This is where you find the pod baby that I'm talking about. And as I said earlier, it kinda reminds me of the baby from Death Stranding that you run around with Sam Porter. As soon as you take the pod baby, everything breaks loose and everything is hunting you down, just like a default shooting floor wave game. So hang tight and shoot everything that moves. A little hint here, you can store the baby in your backpack. There are different types of enemies in Wandering in Space. And they are pretty normal for, like, if you think the zombie type of zombies, where you have the runners, the juggernauts, the boomers, the scouts, and so on. But in this you also have other NPCs, like the different kind of mechs, that for some reason are fighting against you too, and ignoring the infected. Wandering in Space is a great shooting game. I actually enjoyed it a fair bit. The game is playable as a will to use it because you have the force grip, so you should be able to grab anything in the map without any problems, no matter how high or low they are. There will be coming a update for it where you can switch your dominant hand, which I am looking forward to, because I am a lefty, not a righty. But other than that, I can't see any real problems with this game at all. I'm also looking forward to the multiplayer part of this game. I'm not sure how many you can play together, but I'm guessing about 4 people. And I'm looking forward to play it with other people and just complete the floors one after one. Wandering in Space is on Steam for 12.49 euros, and you can also download a demo if you want to try it out before you buy it. But I highly recommend it, to be honest. It's a lot of fun, and it's a very pretty game. If you feel like I could have done something differently, then leave a comment down below. And remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more. If you like this video, then be sure to check out this video here, where I'm reviewing Tutti Frutti.